We bought 8 of the UK's best-selling instant coffees, including Nescafé, Kenco, and Douwe Egberts, and put every single jar through the same brutal test. We looked at the granules under bright light, dissolved each one in freshly boiled water, tasted them blind with no labels in sight, and worked out the true cost per cup. What we found should worry anyone who's been buying the same jar out of habit for years. One brand in particular didn't taste like coffee at all, it tasted like the inside of a chimney. Let's count down from the worst to the very best, so you know exactly what to leave on the shelf next time you're doing the weekly shop. 8th place, Asda Smart Price Coffee. Starting with the biggest disappointment of the entire test. The moment we opened the jar, the granules told their own story: dull, uneven, almost dusty, nothing like the glossy little crystals you'd expect from a proper roast. We spooned it into hot water and watched it clump instead of dissolving cleanly, leaving small dark specks floating on the surface that never fully broke down. When we finally tasted it blind, the first word out of our tester's mouth was burnt. Not rich, not bold, just scorched, with a bitterness that clung to the back of the throat long after the cup was empty. And here's the part that really stings: pound for pound, it wasn't even meaningfully cheaper than brands that tasted 3 times better. You're not saving money here. You're just drinking a worse cup of coffee for almost the same price. 7th place, Kenco Rich. A jar that's been sitting on British shelves for decades trading purely on nostalgia. Visually, it actually looked promising: decent-sized granules, a warm brown color that hinted at a proper medium roast. But the moment hot water hit the surface, things went downhill fast. It dissolved almost too easily, breaking apart into a thin, watery mixture that never built any real body. The smell rising from the mug was faint, almost apologetic, nothing like the deep aroma you'd want first thing in the morning. On tasting, it was flat and one-dimensional, not offensive, just forgettable, the kind of coffee you drink because it's there, not because you want it. For the price being asked, we expected considerably more character in the cup. 6th place, Douwe Egberts Smooth. A brand that markets itself as smooth, and to be fair, it delivers on that promise, just not in a good way. The granules were fine and almost sandy, dissolving instantly with barely any resistance. That should be a good sign, but it meant almost none of the natural oil survived the instant process. What we were left with was a coffee so smooth it had practically no personality at all. No bitterness, sure, but also no depth, no warmth, nothing that made you want a second sip. It's the coffee equivalent of beige. Considering the price sits comfortably in the mid-range, we expected a lot more flavor for the money. 5th place, Costa Coffee Signature Blend. A genuinely divisive result among our tasting panel. The dry granules had a rich, almost chocolatey color that immediately raised expectations, no doubt trading on the brand's coffee shop reputation. Dissolved in hot water, it built decent body fairly quickly, and the aroma had real warmth to it, slightly nutty, slightly sweet. But the finish let it down badly, with a sharp, almost metallic aftertaste that lingered uncomfortably. Half our panel didn't notice it at all. The other half couldn't stop thinking about it. Split opinions aside, at this price point, and with that name on the jar, a coffee shouldn't be a gamble on whether you like the finish or not. 4th place, Taylor's of Harrogate. We're firmly into the brands worth keeping in your cupboard now. This one surprised us with how well the granules held their shape and color, a proper deep amber rather than the dull brown we'd seen further down the list. It dissolved cleanly with no clumping whatsoever, and the smell that hit us was unmistakably close to filter coffee rather than the usual instant staleness. On the palate, there was real balance, a touch of natural bitterness, a gentle sweetness underneath, and none of that chemical aftertaste that ruined the 5th place brand. The only thing holding it back from the top 3 was a slightly higher price per 100 grams than we'd like to see for an everyday coffee. 3rd place, Sainsbury's Taste the Difference Colombian Coffee. Taking the final spot on our podium, this supermarket premium own-label blend genuinely outperformed several branded competitors twice its price. The granules were noticeably larger and glossier, a sign of a slower, more careful drying process. Dissolved in water, it created a proper creamer-like layer on top, something we didn't see anywhere else in this test. The taste was bold without tipping into bitterness, with a lingering warmth that actually improved as the cup cooled. Best of all, the price per cup was some of the lowest in the entire lineup. This is proof that the supermarket-owned brand aisle deserves far more respect than it gets. Second place, Nescafé Gold Blend. One of the most recognizable names in British coffee, and it earned its position fair and square. The granules were uniform, a deep chestnut brown, and dissolved with a satisfying little fizz that told us the roast had been handled properly. The aroma alone had several of our testers reaching for their mugs before the tasting even started. Blind, the flavor was rich and rounded, with just enough acidity to keep it interesting without becoming sharp. The only reason it didn't take the top spot was the price. It's noticeably more expensive per 100 grams than the brand that beat it, and that difference adds up fast if you're drinking 2 or 3 cups a day. First place, Kenco Millicano. The clear winner of this entire test, combining everything the others were missing. The granules were large, dark and glossy, practically begging to be made into a proper cup. Dissolved, it built a thick, satisfying body almost instantly, with an aroma so close to a fresh filter pot that 2 of our testers assumed we'd swapped the method halfway through. The taste delivered on every promise. The smell made, deep, warm, naturally sweet, with virtually no bitterness and a finish that made you want to go straight back for another sip. And despite tasting like a premium brand, the price per cup landed right in the middle of the pack, nowhere near the most expensive jar on our shelf. This is exactly what instant coffee should taste like, and proof that the most expensive jar in the cupboard isn't automatically the best one in the cup. So if you've been buying the same jar out of pure habit, it might be time to have a proper look at what's actually inside it. Let us know in the comments which brand you drink every morning, and if this test opened your eyes, stick around, because next week we're doing exactly the same thing with 8 of the UK's most popular whole milk brands, and what we found in one of the cartons genuinely shocked us.